Jackie's Extraordinary Day Visiting the Castle. Written by the Hahn Sisters. Illustrated by Karen Phelps. When Jackie awoke, he wondered if it would be an ordinary day or an extraordinary day. Clink clunk, clink clunk. What's all that commotion? Wondered Oma and Opa. As Jackie entered the kitchen in his night costume, Oma looked at him and smiled. Where are you going dressed like that? With only his eyes peering through his helmet, Jackie muttered, Ralph and I are going to play knights and castles. We're going to build a castle so we can defend our land. Well, Jackie, speaking of castles, do you know about the Ronneburg castle? Opa asked. Oma added, and how important it is to our family and community? Jackie shook his head and inquired, Did knights live there? Oma and Opa chuckled. The Knight of Ronneburg owned it for a time, and our ancestors lived there. Really? That's so cool! Jackie could hardly contain his excitement. Before long, Jackie's best friend Ralph came clanging and clunking into Jackie's backyard. Sir Jackie, is thou ready to build our castle and defend our land? Ralph mumbled through his helmet. Good day, Sir Ralph. Indeed, thou is ready to defend our land. After working for hours building with large wooden blocks, the boys admired their castle. That sure is a well-built castle, Ralph. We can defend our land for sure. Ralph, did you know my relatives lived in the Ronneburg Castle in Germany? Jackie asked. Really? So did my relatives, Ralph shared. After constructing their castle, the boys went into the kitchen for an imbiss snack, giggling and talking all the way. Little did the boys know, Jackie's family had a surprise for them. After they finished their snack, Oma and Opa shared the exciting news. We've been thinking, we know how much you boys enjoy history, castles, and knights, so we wanted to surprise you with a trip to see the real Ronneburg Castle. We will have to go on a Flugzeug airplane and fly over the ocean. Jackie and Ralph could hardly believe their ears. Sitting in their castle, Jackie and Ralph couldn't believe they were going to a real castle and flying in a big airplane. I'm sure glad we don't have to swim there, or build a raft, or hitch a ride on a whale, or have a pirate ship take us, or float on a sea turtle, or have a mermaid escort us. They both laughed hysterically. Finally, the day arrived for the trip. Jackie double-checked, triple-checked, and even quadruple-checked his bag. To help him remember what to pack, he sang, Passport, PJs, underwear, E-I-E-I-O. Shirts and sandals and jeans to wear, E-I-E-I-O. Jackie was very excited about the trip and was wondering what he would see at the castle. He was anxious about the airplane and what the ocean would look like from way up high. Jackie's family met up with Ralph's family at the Flughafen airport. The boys had their paper and colored pencils and began to draw castle pictures amidst the hustle and bustle of the airport. They drew castles with moats, castles with ramparts, castles with towers, and castles with drawbridges. On the plane, Jackie and Ralph fell asleep with dreams about the castle. Jackie dreamt he and Ralph were real knights in the medieval times, jousting with their helmets on, in boxers with a bouquet of flowers. When Jackie awoke, he was startled and felt red in the face. He was relieved to find out that it was just a silly dream and quietly went back to sleep. After what seemed like a whole day, Mama and Papa gently nudged Jackie when they had arrived in Germany. At the castle, Jackie and Ralph were amazed by everything around them, the detailed architecture, the knight's equipment, and all the rooms. Not paying attention to where their group went, Jackie and Ralph were curious and suddenly found themselves alone by a stone staircase. "Do you think there's a dungeon in this castle?" wondered Ralph. "Let's find out," Jackie excitedly replied. Walking down the stone staircase, they both noticed how dark it was. At the bottom of the staircase, the boys found a lit hallway. They crept slowly and looked at a painting on the wall. Jackie whispered, "Ralph, that looks like Opa." "Wow, it does! And look at his name, Sir Friedrich William Hahn II, Ralph murmured. The boys raced up the stone staircase and bumped into the tour guide. Out of breath and feeling a little embarrassed, they smiled at each other, knowing the special secret they had found. The tour guide was talking to the group about all the people that were immigrating from Germany and other European countries to the United States. The large book was filled with names of families that sought refuge at the castle before boarding their ship. Later that night, Jackie sat down at the table in the hotel room, as he did every night at home, and started drawing about his adventurous day. What an extraordinary day!